Yeah, because you guys should be getting the Manfrottos, not Manfrottos, but the Magneto Speeds in the next year or so.
Yes, that's one of the things that I'm really looking forward to.
Are y'all getting hog saddles?
Not that I know of yet. We've also got our new supply guy who's awesome.
If you're poor,
And,
buy big.
got my Christmas list going on. You know, but
You come out to LRC, you can use my fucking pig saddle and Manfrotto.
I'll get you the DTS account.
Hey, I got the freaking DTS freaking get around for freaking shooting a comp. Just ask Joe. He knows how to do that money.
Yeah.
Come on,
yeah.
man.
Yeah.
He knows how
I'll
to
go
do that
with-
stuff like the back of his hand. He knows he's got that shit down.
Yeah. Him and Colonel Milliken, man, those guys. I can't tell you how much of a fire they had lit under that program for CalGuard, man.
Well, you guys won the All Army Championships like 2 years in a row.
3?
Yeah, 3 years. Oh, excuse me, 3 years in a row.
Yeah,
So
3 years in a row.
When you have a National Guard unit coming out and beating active Army 3 years in a row, that's an easy selling point. That's an easy sell. You know, that's not supposed to happen like that. But you guys fucking train hard and worked at it, and that's what you get.
I wasn't on that team myself. I got to clarify that. Furthest I went with them was regionals, and then I ran out of military leave for my civilian job. So there was that. I go back.
Womp womp.
Yeah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Right. And they're like, yeah, man, we took all Army, and I'm like, damn. Like 3 years in a row, I'm like, hey, man, this is getting old. Coming home with all these trophies and stuff. God bless them, man. Those guys are awesome. They put in the work. They got to put in the work.
Anyhow, I just I'm glad to see we're getting more advances in what the guys are getting, what you guys are getting. And the 2010 was a great step up. I remember when they first brought it by the schoolhouse, and we're talking about the 2010. I hope eventually they can get the PSR program back started up, because we need to go down that road.
Yeah.
I know people don't want to do it. I know people are fighting it, but 7.62 is a great cartridge for training with, because you're going to learn to wind. If the new big rifle is going to be a 300 Win Mag or a 338, I can't tell you that, because each one has its advantages. Some people like 338 Norma. Some people like 338 Lapua. I wish I could tell the true backstory about how 338 Lapua got formed. I heard it one time from a very reliable source, and it was very interesting. Anyways, but hopefully the services can get their stuff together and work as one and buy a good rifle and move forward. And the Marine Corps is still, they're going to be putting out the M40A6. So M40A6, they put it in a Remington Rax chassis. They have the same scope on top. They took their built by PWS, took their Snyder barrel, cut it down to 19.5, put the Surefire muzzle brake on it, and put the same can on it they had.
Those guys still running the Schmidt Bender, right?
Yeah. Which, hey, is great and everything, but when you only got mil dots, even though they're enhanced mil dots, still just mil dots, and when you start doing holds at distance, because you run out of scope elevation, and you're having to hold I'm in the bottom of the scope, because they got nothing left to come up. And we can shoot that far. And with our ABs, with our ballistic computers, they'll help us shoot that far. Give you the condition, and at that far stupid ranges, that's where you really need that additional help of, oh yeah, okay, I need to come up what? Cool. But they run out of scope manipulation, so they have to hold in their turret, not with their turret, but hold in their reticle. But the reticle is not designed to hold with, so it's very hard for them.
Yep. Those lads, anybody that's running straight mill dots, I don't care who you are. I don't know what the gun is. It doesn't matter. At some point, you're holding space, and you're you're visually looking at my horizontal plane, looking at my vertical plane, trying to intersect the two in glass with no reference point.
Yeah.
And
Hard
that's
point
just,
will beat it every time.
Yep, no doubt. You know, I made the mile shot at Hodnet's place once with my gas gun, and I had a 4-16 scope with an H37, and I had to back the scope magnification down. And it's thinking, you know, absolutely contrary to you know, traditional conventional logic. Like, I have 16x, I need to be using 16x to shoot a dude at a fucking mile. But my Christmas tree was so masked, and I had maxed out all the mils in my fucking elevation turret, because I was holding, I don't know, 30 some odd mils. So, you know, I'm 13 on the fucking scope and, you know, X amount in the fucking reticle. So I'm down in like the 8X range just to have enough Christmas tree in the field of view of the glass to be able to get my elevation reference, you know, and then start fucking around with windage. And, you know, it was I'm not going to say it was an amazing shot. I made it in like 3 or 4, and I had fucking Hodnet on glass. But, you know, if I had a mil dot reticle, like, no fucking way. like fuck, ain't no fucking way. Yeah, it fucking rainbows and unicorns. So
It took me 4 rounds to shoot at 1200 or 11, like somewhere between 11 and 12. I think it was like 1170 with a mil dot and M24, and that was only because I had a guy shoot before me that I kind of basically scalped off his dope. So me and him were shooting almost the same gun in terms of dope, so I kind of knew what I needed to shoot at that far in those winds. And yeah, I was topped out on the turret and holding another 2 mils on top of that, and then fucking at the very edge of the fucking mill stadia to the right. And yeah, it still took me 4 rounds. It was a pain in the ass of a shot because I had no reference mark because I was holding into that black bar. It was a pain in the fucking ass. And it kind of goes back to like just because you have the Horus doesn't mean you need to use the entire hold. Like I'm partial to dialing on chunks of 5 to 10 mils and then working off those big numbers and then just holding the remainder. Because I like Horus, but I don't like using it at the very edge of the fucking scope where you start getting that fisheye, you know, edge of it. And that's dependent upon the scope too. Some of them don't have that to nearly that degree, but some of the ones I've used where it's like, I'd rather dial like 10 mils and then fucking hold 4.5 and then attempt that shot. Maybe dial down a little bit so I'm not getting so much fucking shake.
Yeah, well, the Horus really shines is just rapid, engagement of targets and win holds, with the Mark IVs that we got, being that their first focal plane, you can just crank it down to where, you can see a lot more of the reticle and get it more crisp there. I've really liked it since we've gone to that, and I was a guy that grew up on the Mil Dot and TMR when I first got into the sniper game. TMR was like, oh my god, look, it's got .2 stadia at the end. That's the shit,
Well, so, the funny part is like I've owned 4 horoscopes as of now. I don't own any now because they fucking grew legs and.
Aww.
Well, one of them I sold. Two of them I sold, actually. The other two walked away. But the
It's on top of a Ruger 1022 right now.
Oh, Jesus.
But no, and it's weird. Like, I like horse, but I also like a little bit of a cleaner reticle in the sense of, especially in the context of being a normal guy now, shooting PRS comps and stuff like that. Some of those targets are pretty goddamn small, man, and they can get into the 1 MOA target at fucking 800 meters. So when you, especially on an H58, when you dial up, that line gets pretty goddamn thick, even on an H59. So I kind of like the tree, but without so many fucking hash marks on it. Because I guess that's relative to your experience level. Me personally, I'm experienced enough where I can differentiate between .2, so it's not as big of a deal. But I guess when you start stacking on stress on top of that, beyond competition stress, that .2 is definitely a nice delineation, because you don't have to think so much, and that's kind of why the horse was pushed so hard, is because anything you can do to get guys to not think so fucking hard about what the fuck they're doing and they can focus on what matters to actually make the shot is important.
Especially if it's not going to be their primary job all the time.
Yeah.
If this is going to be something that's going to be your secondary, because I'm a medic or I'm doing something totally different, and
that's on ODAs. And they got different hats I got to wear on one
It's
mission.
considered like a secondary skill, not a primary job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think if you really want to see the progression of snipers in general, you kind of look at the international sniper comp at Fort Benning. Started in 2000. You can watch Army guys won it because that's all their focus was. Guys who were in Army sniper sections, they could dedicate their entire life to doing that stuff. And then it got a little bit more popular. AMU came out, but the guys who shot from AMU, Robbie and Jason, were both 75th guys. Had a bunch of shooting time, good shots, good shooters, knew how to communicate. They won. And then SF guys come down, guys who'd done some work and had a lot of training, but at 37 came down and they started doing really well. And then the Marines won one year. It has to happen sometime. But I can't help it, man. It's right there. It's so easy. But my boy Josh and Grant did a great job. They won. And you watched
Sully?
No. Sully was
So wasn't he on the? Or I thought he was on a team that went. Couldn't remember.
No, he did. He was there at that time. That was in 2009. But
So hold on for just a second. So dudes that know me know that there's 7 degrees of the entire universe that all fucking link back to me. Jason was my fucking sniper buddy at U.S. Army Sniper School. Just want to throw that out there. Anyway, continue your story.
6 degrees of bacon, 7 degrees of Roland.
Well, that is a fucking fact. So Saint John was my fucking sniper buddy in sniper school.
Yeah. And
Anyway.
Well, it's not a big community, to begin with.
What year was that? Was that in this century?
Yeah, we used flintlock muskets for a final shot. That was 97.
Kentucky long rifles, to be exact.
1897.
Well, don't feel bad. I went in before that, and we didn't shoot the 24, but only on the range. We shot the 21s to stock with, and when we got to the range, we had the 24s in a hard case, and we pull them open, ta-da, bring them out, we shoot off like a sandbag or a ruck, mostly off the ruck, shoot off of bipods. We put it back in the case, lock it up.
Did it look like the case from Pulp Fiction? There's like a light glowing and everybody's looking at it like,
exactly.
I think it is.
No, T is not bullshitting. Like the sniper cadre were indignant about the fact that we may have been the first class, if not the first, one of the first that bow flash your 24, carry your 24, use your 24. Like, they were fucking assed up that we were fucking dragging these precision sniper weapons in the muck. Like, they had the ass. I didn't see anything fucking M14 related the whole time that I was in the fucking course. I walked in and it was bolt gun day one. There was no M21 bullshit as far as the eye could see when I went through. But
that's all we did was stock with it. We only shot the 24s on the range. Everything else, like all your stocks, the freaking overnight, all that stuff was done with the 21. And we beat the snot out of it because they didn't care. What do you think?
They still have those like AccuCam or AccuTrax, whatever it was, optics on them.
No, it had the Redfield optic with the
ARC reticle.
The ARC, yeah. The ARC.
R2, the R2 scope.
See,
yeah.
I may be youngin', but I know my sniper lore.
Yeah.
Well, hey, don't feel bad. When I was in Alpha 161, I carried an M1D.
Yes.
Yes. That was awesome.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh yeah. If I
Negative. 9.
Hey, I can go dig in my box of freaking woe and pull out a couple freaking old freaking M1 clips.
Hey. Did the old dudes in the section carrying a 1903 Springfield's like, look, listen, young pup. This is my shit.
With the offset 1x scope.
Yeah. It's off the side a little bit.
Got you nerdle about that long.
Put it like that. Watch your thumb. You'll get your thumb smashed.
15 millimeter tube on that thing, whatever the hell it was. It was like microscopic.
Hey, it made a big noise when we shot it. It's pretty fun.
It had that big cone flash enhancer or whatever on it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a request from the Almighty about so a question from a viewer of thoughts on barrel break-in, when barrels, and how often is carbon or carbon and copper.
Oh Lord!
Really, Jesus? He asked that question at what time? 2:44 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time.
He just asked the after club question. The after club after party question is what he's asking.
Hey, I've got a question from a listener. 9mm versus 45.
Yeah,
like, fucking for real?
I guess because I fucking threw it out there, I'll start.
Jesus, we were doing this.
You can start.
Okay.
Gotta keep the viewership happy. Me personally, I noticed more of a cold shooter, less of a cold gun aspect. Not to say that cold bore doesn't exist. It definitely exists. Fucking goddamn it. I'll get into that one. But it's less indicative of the guy just not having the time on the gun. And in reality being that I haven't noticed a significant amount of cold bore in all the guns I've been issued, from multiple M110s to M24s. I've never really noticed a significant cold bore shift, and it's just not been a problem. As far as cleaning, that's something. Of course, sniper school, they preach you fucking wet the gun down and you clean the shit out of it every single time you go through it. You know, my personal guns, I'll shoot till they start fucking opening up on groups, and then that's when I know I need to take a little bit of the copper fouling out. Not all of it, because if you take out so let's back up a little bit. The carbon is what causes barrel breakdown. It's not the copper. The copper is actually kind of helping you out. The copper is actually coining in all the imperfections. The reality is, with a lot of the match grade barrels out there, especially for civilian shooters that can buy fucking Bartland's, Benchmarks, Rock Creek, Schillens, fucking all this stuff that's hand lapped. It's not a big deal. Like, they don't have that many imperfections. Like, they're gonna pretty much clean, right out of the box after the first 10 rounds, pretty goddamn clean. You're gonna punch a little carbon out of there, and then you're gonna keep shooting, and it's gonna be fine. It's not gonna show a significant, decrease. Now, some of the older rifles, and where this kind of probably this myth crossover from generational gap is the match grade barrels you're getting. They've got probably some significant imperfections in the barrel. So you'll notice when you take all that fucking lead out, or all that copper out, excuse me, copper, not lead, you're removing all that coining that's going into the barrel that's actually filling in imperfections. So when you take all that out, you'll notice the barrel will open up, and then after maybe 10 or 15 rounds, it'll close back down again to where it was before. So it's really not a big deal. People stress over this. There's been multiple barrel manufacturers that have come out and said, look, barrel break-in is basically just you stacking rounds on a barrel, especially if it's a 300 Win Mag, 338 Lapua, 6mm. You're stacking more rounds on a barrel in a 100-round break-in that's taking away a tenth of the barrel life for no reason. And that's all I got.
Yeah. It's witchcraft. It is. Everybody calls it cold bore, but it's actually called cold clean bore.
Or cold foul bore.
Yeah, like that's.
Or
There you go.
foul bore.
Every precision guy I've ever worked with, very few of them have preached the whole cold bore. And doing months of testing on guns, we had to do that. And it was so infuriating because at the baseline in the Marine Corps, they'd tell you on range week, don't clean your gun. Once you have your zero, once you have your dope, don't clean your gun because you'll screw up your zero. But what we do with our precision guns, we clean them religiously. And so we spend more time having to wait far fouling shots to get our zero back.
Yeah.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
And everything that Matt said. And as a function of what it does, you're filling the grooves. That's causing restriction, ramping pressures, increasing your velocity. Then there's a bunch of other witchcraft that causes a loss of accuracy, supposedly, when it gets dirty. But there's only so much crap a barrel can hold on to. That bullet has a lot of hate and discontent. It's going to push everything out of the way that doesn't need to be there.
Yeah.
Anything short of a number 8 piece of gravel, yeah, it's going to blow up. But if it's smaller than that, it's probably going to push it out.
And especially on the military side, having temperature sensitive powder are going to affect things a hell of a lot more than your couple of microns of copper in there. So for me, on our end, it's one of the minor things that I would worry about in terms of affecting accuracy. There are other things that are far higher on my list of things that should be eliminated. Really not so much of a factor.
I do have one caveat. Some of our DDMs actually got a hold of some Molly coat ammo out of their Mark 11s, and yeah, that was fun. Just so you know, for the listeners, Molly is a hydroscopic agent, and it will trap moisture and rust a high-end barrel. So, yeah, don't shoot that shit.
Yeah.
That's witchcraft too.
And just to preface, there's cold clean bore, meaning you've taken it all the way down to the white, completely stripped it of carbon and copper. There's clean bore, meaning you just punch it out of fucking carbon. And then there's foul bore, meaning you just shot the fuck out of it and left it as is, and then past that where you stored it that way. And I say that because when you store it, especially for 2 weeks or so, you're building up some oxidization. So you are indeed dealing with some minor issues in that respect. There's a couple guys that I could probably hit that have more information on that than me that have actually done the testing on it. But it's more of a factor of, like, for me personally, for my work gun, I'm keeping that thing fouled. I'm only cleaning it every maybe 600 rounds, and I'm only pushing out the copper. That's only to prevent that oxidization within that barrel. Beyond that, especially because I know I need it to hit exactly where it hit before, at 100 or 300, 200, etc. I require that, so I can't strip it down to base metal. If I'm stripping it down to base metal, it's usually right before I go back out to the range that next day, and foul that bore. I don't carry it out there because why change something, especially if you're an operational dude? Why change something so drastically that you could chance a shift when you need to be operational?
Okay, well, I heard a lot about cleaning schedules and clean bore, dirty bore, white bore, foul bore. Am I wrong? Was the question not about cold bore?
It was more about barrel break-in and general cleaning schedules.
Okay, well, in that case, I shall abstain.
And
you guys...
and clean cold bore and how that all interplays, kind of thing. So whatever.
To me, cold bore is temperature related. It has nothing to do with cleaning schedule. Everything my data book says about cold bore shot is temperature related. Not, well, I mean, I guess it would be. Everything when you just culminated about why would you fuck up what you already know, like, to me that's like basic level. Like, I would never do that. So I would never strip my shit down and then go out to the range the next day and try to take a cold bore shot. What I put my gun up with at the end of the day is prepared to take that fucking single round T-box shot the next day. So if I clean the gun at noon before I leave work, I need to refoul that gun that day so that if I need to use that gun that night, it's able to do whatever. Yeah. So the refouling of the barrel is part of the cleaning cycle. So I've got to have bullets, I have to have the range, I have to have everything that I need to be able to reconfigure the gun back to its fouled status that it was at when I was getting consistent dope. Yeah. So that if somebody wakes me up in the middle of the night to do fucking work, the gun's ready to fucking do work. It's going to do its part. That being said, when I wake up and the gun wakes up and the gun's fouled and everything's cool, and I go pew and it doesn't fucking go where all the rest of the pews should go, to me, that is the definition of cold bore shot.
Yeah.
And that's a totally different discussion. I thought when I heard clean cold bore, it threw me off on a tangent. But everything you guys have said is absolutely spot on. Like, when you decide to detailed strip fucking shit out of your barrel, you need to replace it if you think that the rest of your data book's going to stay fucking relevant, because the rest of your data book was fouled-ass, dirty-ass gun. When we can talk about science and microscopics and whatever, I don't care. I'm a big believer in sniper placebo. Like, if I got to fucking go chaka, shaka, shaka 3 times around my sniper rifle to make that bitch work, if that's what it takes to make that bitch shoot consistently, I will be throwing chicken bones on the fucking firing line like you read about. Shaka, shaka, shaka.
And I should caveat that with the reason why, if I was going to choose to strip it down that night, I usually shoot at least 5 separate groups before I even attempt the qual. Like, I'm specifically going back and refouling that bore before I actually even attempt my qual.
Oh, that's a fact, man.
Yeah, because I know that I need to fucking groove that shit with copper and get it back to where it was before, if it's even moved,
Yep.
to get it to that point. And that's
Yep.
just like you said, the chicken bones thing. It's my own, way of assuring that I know where it's gonna fucking land, and I can start that whole cycle all over again.
Yeah, and it's just part of the institutional. It's kind of like watch the movie Full Metal Jacket. Like watch Hollywood's attempt to show the breakdown of a human being to the core level, and then kind of building them back up. And then you go back to like our legacy sniper courses, and when they harp consistency equals accuracy, they want to show you that in every aspect of what you do as an instructor when you're going through those courses as a student. It's all out there. They're throwing it all out there to try to make an indelible impression upon the student that's going through the course. So when I was being told to take my Leopold fixed 10X scope and mount it to the M24 chassis, I was taught take my 65-pound T-handle torque wrench and go front lug, 1 click, rear lug, 1 click, front lug, 1 click, and repeat that 3 times. If you can't tell me that that's not shaka laka laka throwing chicken bones, I'll kiss your ass. But that's what they're telling dudes at the sniper school, man. Like at the schoolhouse, we're all ritually shaka, front click, front click, rear click. That's building dude, it's building mindset. Come on, man. It's building mindset. God bless
them. And over here like, yeah, player. Yeah.
It's building mindset, man. For the young impressionable, I went through as a senior staff sergeant. For the young impressionable E3, like that's legit shit. He's going back to the 82nd and he's telling everybody in HHC Arms Room, back the fuck off my M24. Nobody touches this bitch but Remington. Let me give you some FedEx address. Like he's breaking that shit down like a shotgun. He's coming back like he's a designated expert in this weapon system. HHC fucking XO's like, what do you mean you're going to send the gun back for services for FedEx? Shut up, sir. I got this. That is the tools that we impart upon the E3 when he leaves the United States Army Sniper School. And that dude will, until he is a E99, click the front goddamn lug nut the first time every time. I don't know if there's any science behind it. It's just what we do. It's how we ingrain these guys to get beyond being an 11 Bravo, and this is an M16 you're taking out of the arms room, to this is a precision sniper rifle that is your responsibility. So, who knows where these barrel fouling fucking black magic fucking shit come from, but I know I ain't gonna fucking shoot a clean-ass gun till I fucking foul that shit. I know that. There's no way I would ever put some sweets down a barrel and fucking pull green-ass shit out and then be required to go on a mission the very next day that required accountability, that human lives were on the line, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, without having confirmed what the cleaning fucking process I did the day prior did to the accuracy and the consistency of my weapon system. I wouldn't do it. No way.
Yeah, and to be fair, I put fucking Jude on my goddamn rifle, and it didn't affect shit.
Here's one of the things that really sucks about using the 110 for that, because you're forced to. If you want to shoot at suppress, guess what I got to do now? Guess what?
You got to clean it.
Yeah, because that
suppressor's got to come off.
Nasty.
And there goes my 3 fouling rounds, so...
Yeah, whole rifle gets foul.
Yeah. Hopefully it sits back where it was.
That little can blows crap everywhere.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
Anyhow, I think it's about time to freaking call it, man. I'm calling it.
Yeah, it's only 1 a.m. here. I gotta wake up in 4 hours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well.
Neckley, you gonna go have another one of your freaking black boots?
Black bean?
Butt?
What were you? Bean pies? What?
I'm good for the night, man. This is Snoqualmie Porter.
Ah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, gents. I'm gonna turn it into.
All right, man.
It's fun. We'll tackle the next precision myth at a designated time.
I appreciate people writing in and making up ideas for us to talk about because it makes it a lot easier than us fucking looking at each other going, dude, I see you.
Remember that one time?
Back here, man. Yeah, nice patches on the wall, man. It's cool, dude.
Yeah.
Don't worry, that the bedroom you got there is going to be a kid's room in about freaking 6 months.
I lose my home office, man. This is my safe space where the words don't hurt.
You
God.
Yourself. This is your little space in the house.
Right. Pretty soon we'll be sitting out there next to the dog, just holding my phone like this, doing some Amiri King style video, walking around.
Like I was in the bar, like, oh fuck, how do I stop this?
Hey, at least you went on the shitter.
Were you at Buffalo Wild Wings again?
No, it was Rainier Bar and Grill in Enumclaw.
Okay. Enumclaw.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, Jets.
Road, man.
Fun. I'll catch you guys later.
Later.
Rick.
Yeah, good night, mates.
Later, man.
Take care.
Later.
Well, that was cool.